My fellow degenerate gamblers, we are back. Yesterday, well, technically today, but last video, we swept our picks. We had 4 picks. We had a 2-man parlay, Josh Young and Francisco Lindor with 1 hit each. Both of those hit. Bobby Witt Jr., 2 total bases. That hit. And then we also had Jorge Polanco over 1 hit, which hit. So a pretty good day. All right, let's get into tomorrow's, whatever, April 18th plays. So my first matchup that I really like is going to be Dansby Swanson against Corbin Burnes. So Dansby is 12 for 20, which is a 600 batting average, lifetime, with 2 home runs against Corbin. He's hitting a 556 batting average against Burnes' main pitch, which is the cutter, which he's throwing over 60% of the time. So he's going to be seeing a lot of that pitch. Corbin Burnes is allowing a 286 batting average on said cutter, which is pretty shit for him, but pretty good for the hitter. His curveball has held hitters to a 200 batting average so far this season. But I think with the way Swanson's swinging the ball against that pitch and the power that he has, I think it's fair to say he's seeing it pretty well. So for the picks for it, I would say hits is probably the best one unless it's absolutely juiced. But he's crushing Burnes in career. I'd say total bases is actually worth a pretty good look because he's slugging nearly a 950 against Corbin Burnes. And then for hits, runs, RBIs, I'd say he checks pretty much all the boxes outside of his batting average for this season. He hasn't been amazing this season, which is why this is heavily a match-based prop for outside of an overall great prop, just because he hasn't seemed to be doing amazing so far this season. All right, let's move on to my second pick. It's going to be Trey Turner against Sandy Alcantara. So Trey is 13 for 36 in his career against Sandy, which is a 361 batting average. He's got 10 singles, 2 doubles, and a homer. He's got a hit in 5 of his last 6 games and a 333 batting average over his last 10. Sandy's 4 main pitches are the sinker, the changeup, the slider, and the 4-seam fastball. Trey Turner's batting over 235 against 3 out of 4 of those pitches. That's pretty good. He's also above a 370 expected batting average on 4-seamers and changeups, which are thrown 40% of the combined time by Alcantara. So I would say that hits is most likely, although Trey Turner's line is probably going to be hella juiced because he's batting leadoff and just a fucking superstar name. But total bases, I think, has a lot of solid upside with this pick. He's got a lot of gap power, and he's got those 2 doubles and a homer in his career. And I don't think HRR is the best because it's not really the best possible home run matchup, but extra base hits are definitely possible to put him into scoring position for his team to do something. I mean, he's got great bats behind him. Moving on to my third matchup of the day. It's going to be Francisco Lindor. We're running it back-to-back with the hot bat. And he's going up against Miles Mikolas. So he's 7 for 17 in his career, which is a 412 batting average, 2 doubles. And Mikolas is throwing a slider, a 4-seamer, a sinker, and a changeup. Lindor's hitting 250 against 3 of those. He's hitting 300 against the slider, 375 against the sinker, and 250 against the 4-seamer. All 3 of his hits against the sinker have been for extra base hits. 2 doubles and a home run. That's on this season. Mikolas is allowing a 429 batting average against him on his 4-seamer this season and a 273 on his sinker. Pretty shit for the pitcher, pretty good for the batter. Lindor's got a hit in 13 of his last 15 games, including 5 straight games, including the game tonight where he went 3 of 3. And I don't even think it's over yet, but he's got a 3-hit game. So hits is definitely going to be the best play here. They finally bump it up to 1.5, which they may do. I wouldn't take it at that, but it's definitely the most consistent play. If it's at 0.5 at 1 hit, I'd say probably try to combine it with somebody else. Total bases is also a good play here. He's logged multiple extra base hits against Michaelis, and he's hitting sinkers insanely well so far this season. And the HRR, it's got a lower upside, but I think it's got a good chance for production. He's getting on base a lot. He's got good bats behind them if they can lock in, if Juan Soto could get a hit to save his life. But his fall-off needs to be studied. Anyway, my fourth and final matchup that I like is Yandy Diaz versus Carlos Rodon. He's 4 for all time with one homer, and that's a .364 batting average. He's been solid against Carlos's top 3 pitches, which are the four-seamer, the slider, and the changeup. I think the most encouraging part about that is that he's batting .400 so far this season against the changeup, and he's also batting .238 against the four-seamer, which isn't too terrible. Rodon has struggled with contact so far this season. He's allowing a .208 on the four-seam fastball and a .250 on the changeup, which evens out well with the batting averages that Yandy Diaz is showing so far this season. So I would say that hits is a pretty good bet, and I don't think it might not be too juiced, especially because he went 0-4 tonight, so I think that helps with the value going down a little bit. But he's got great contact on all the pitch types that he's going to be seeing. And total bases, I think, is a good one, too. He's slugging .636 in his career against Carlos Rodon with a homer. And he doesn't walk. He's not prone to walking. So that means the ball's going to be in play a lot. It's going to be opportunity for more bases. And then HRR, he's got 1 home run and 11 at-bats in his career against Rodon. It's more of a long shot, but I think it's a viable option just because he seems to be getting on base a lot recently. And again, he's got pretty decent bats behind him. So those are my 4 matchups for the day. And that's it. Good luck if you decide to tail any of these picks. And I appreciate you guys watching. I would appreciate if you leave a like on this video, but you definitely don't have to. Appreciate you, boys. I will see you next time. Goodbye.